Hey guys, and welcome back to my world / Wonder Quest. Now, in episode 7 I think it was, I had this whole little bee, wolf, rabbit system built that actually, was a whole little ecosystem that just briefly explained how the rabbit eats the wheat. And the crops, and then they have little babies, and then the wolves come and chase them away. But the wolves, because they've rubbed up against plants, drop seeds, and then you have bees coming and then fertilizing or growing the seeds. Okay, so I'm going to explain today how that all actually works. So first off, now the big thing about this was we actually filmed this in a snapshot. So this was last year sometime that we filmed this, and I had to slightly update the mechanic and use some new things to actually make it look a bit better and so forth. Okay, so it is an updated mechanic. So I'm going to spawn some rabbits. Okay, so let's get the rabbits spawned, and then you will see that once the rabbits actually start running through the crop fields, there we go, you will see that they will actually start eating the crops. Okay, and then when they've eaten a certain amount of crops, they will have a little baby. Isn't that cool? Okay, and you'll see these two will have a little baby. Yay, there we go. Did they not have a little baby? Okay, but yeah, so you'll see that. Well, you can see where all the little spawning things are. So basically, this what happens here is when they eat 4 crops. There we go. There's another little baby. Okay, they will then breed. So as you can see, when the actual babies eat 3 crops, you will see that they then become big rabbits. Okay, so this can actually become quite a nasty little problem where you can end up with, your whole world filled with rabbits. So you can see, come on, have one more crop. There we go. Okay, and look at all this breeding. I do need to do something about these XP orbs. Okay, but isn't that cute? Okay, so there's a little whole colony going. So now when we do introduce the wolves, okay, so if we do introduce a couple of wolves, you'll see that the wolves will start chasing them. But as they are running over plowed field, you'll see that they will start planting seeds. Okay. Look at them all go mad. Okay, so let's just quickly give a few more wolves and get the rabbits out of the field. Okay, so yeah, and now when we start introducing the bees, okay, so if I start introducing the bee here, you'll see that as they are flying over the crops, they are kind of pollinating it and making the crops grow. So let me just do it over here. There we go, as you can see. Right. And now you've got a very, very, very nice little efficient ecosystem happening. So if I just spawn more rabbits, because the wolves are kind of decimating the population, you will see that the cycle will just continue. The wolves will plant the seeds, the bees will... What on earth happened there now? I probably killed the bees. Okay, never mind, I killed the bees. So yeah, you'll just have this absolute cycle continuously going where the rabbits will breed, eat the crops, the wolves will chase them away, etc., etc. I do need to add killings. Look at all these XP orbs. Oh my goodness. Okay. There must be a way of turning this off. Okay. Alright, so yeah, this is a very, 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 very cool little animation or little mechanics. So as you can see, also I made some changes to the bees. I found the head for this bee on fresh coal, I think it is. Is that what it's called? Fresh coal. Amazing little repository of custom heads. Okay, so let's go and see how this works. There is a one command creation for this that you can download from Pastebin. Personally, I am not a fan of one command creations because there's no way that I can actually show you or teach you the concepts involved. Most of my stuff is teaching you things that you can go and make your own concepts out of. Not necessarily copying what I'm doing, but just using it for your own projects. Okay, but this will be in the description in any way. I used Mr. Garrett's one command block creator for this. All of the links will be in the description. Okay, but let's go and look at the actual control itself or how this actually works. Now, there is 3 parts to this. And what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to just explain how it works. And then, so once I've explained it, you know what you can do, how to do it, you can go away. But if you want a deep dive, I'll do a deep dive. Okay, so first off, as I said, 3 parts to it. First part is when there's a rabbit in the world, it is detecting if there is carrots with a damage value of 7. So if there's a block if they are inside a block of carrots with a damage value of 7, which is this fully grown carrots. Okay. If it is, it sets the bunny's love score to 1, or adds 1 to the bunny's love score. Okay. It then does exactly the same. It checks to see if it has carrots, if it's inside a carrot block. If it is, it then destroys that carrot. All right, now the same thing happens for wheat, and the same thing happens for eating the wheat. So it adds 1 to their bunny love score and then kills it. All right, it will then actually also kill any seeds or any items that drops from that block. Now the reason I'm doing that is so that I can this little eating animation that it does here is that it breaks the block. Now it's easier just to do that and then killing the item than trying to, not do that. All right, then I set them in love. So if they've eaten 4 blocks or four types of thing, I then set their in love score to 200. And I also set their age to 0. So even though if they're a little baby bunny, so let's just do a little, come on, why can't I? Oh, that's because it's a wolf. Okay, so there's a little baby bunny. If this little baby bunny now eats 1, 2, and 3, 4, 3, and one more, go on, one more. 4, you'll see it'll grow, it'll be fully grown. Okay, so I'm just enforcing its age to be 0 so that for 1, it also resets the breeding so that there's not a breeding cooldown. So if they eat 3 more, they will always breed again. And when they eat 3 and they're babies, they'll be big again. And then I just remove the bunny score or the bunny love score from them when they are that size. Okay, and that's how that particular part works. Next, when the wolf runs, the wolf is actually detecting if it is standing on top of a plowed field. If it is standing on top of a plowed field, it then checks to see that the block that they are in is air. Okay, if it is, it will then drop a seed. Okay, now the reason I'm dropping the seed, I mean, we can skip this, but the reason I'm dropping the seed is I'm wanting to show that they are dropping seeds. Okay, I don't want just the seeds to be planted, I want them to show that the seeds are dropped. Okay, I then have a seed score timer, okay, for the wolf. So it sets a timer for the seed. When the seed timer of the seed that the wolf dropped gets to a certain stage or certain amount, it will then grow the wheat. So it'll set block a wheat 0. So that is a little tiny little wheat like over there. Let me just show you the wolf. Okay, so it's that little wheat over there. And then it will just kill the seeds. Okay, and then the bee part, very, very, very simple. All the bees do is it has a full command of a bee that checks 6 blocks down. It'll set block replace any wheat that is 0. Okay, it will then replace with wheat 7. Okay, so if I drop my bee, I don't think this is actually going to work. So if we have a bee running here, here's my bee, I think. Right, so if we have a bee, the reason is because that other thing is the unloaded chunk. So if we have the bee will then, come on bee, where are you? Come on bee. Oopsie. The bee will then set block and replace the wheat, basically with full-grown wheat. And that is it. That is all there really, really is to it. The 1 block creation is, will give you this little queen bee, okay, which when you drop, it will actually then spawn I think 20 bees. I think it'll spawn 20 bees. Okay, so that's how this works. Everything is in the description to download. If you want to see the deep dive and the actual commands of this, please carry on watching. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at how we detect if a rabbit is in carrots. So we execute at E type equals rabbit. We're then going to be running a detect command. Now this is the block that they're in. So you'll see this is relative to themselves. It's the block that they find themselves in. Okay, we're going to check if that is a carrots, Minecraft carrots, and if the damage value is 7. Now as I said, the damage value means it's a fully grown carrot. If it is, okay, we're then going to set their scoreboard for that entity to bunnylove 1. Okay, we're going to add, okay. And then we do exactly the same. We do execute at that rabbit. We detect if it's got carrots, if it's standing inside of a carrot block. If it does, okay, we then set block air. Now the reason we are doing the score first is because once we destroy the carrots, we can no longer set a score for them. The wheat works exactly the same, except we're checking for wheat 7 instead of carrot 7. Okay. Then we kill the seed. So any entity that has a bunnylove score of at least 1, we are then going to kill any entity that any item that is within a 0 block radius of it. Okay. And then we're going to set the enlove score. So we're going to entity data at entity score equals bunnylove underscore minimum equals 4. So they had to eat 4 blocks. We're going to set their enlove time to 200, and we're going to set their age to 0. So we're going to force them to grow up. Now the reason we're setting the age to 0 is because when they breed, their age goes up, and then it counts down until 0 before they can breed again. But what I want to do for this, I want them to breed every single time they eat 3 blocks. So I'm forcing the age to 0. The side effect of that is that when a baby bunny eats, it then becomes fully grown, which is fine. I mean, that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then we just remove score. Scoreboard players set at entity score underscore bunnylove underscore minimum equals fee for bunnylove 0. Okay, now what I am going to do here is I'm actually going to add one more thing. Okay, and I'm going to go execute at e type equals bunny, a rabbit, sorry, rabbit. What am I doing? Rabbit. And we're going to go kill, come on, kill at e. Type equals xp orb. And we're going to go r equals 0. Okay, so the moment that they spawn, that bunny will then kill that XP orb. Right, so next thing is we're going to do the wolf. So what the wolf is doing is executing at e type equals wolf, detect -1, so the block that they're walking on top. If it is farmland -1, so I'm going to look at any kind of farmland. Okay, any kind of farmland. Right, and I'm going to execute at E. So I'm going to execute at that particular wolf if it finds farmland -1. I'm then going to detect if the block that they're standing in is air. All right, once again, -1 just means it'll detect any kind of block with any kind of damage value. If it finds it, it's going to summon an item 1 up, and that item will be wheat seeds with a count of 1. And I'm just going to give them a lore spread by wolves, just so that I can detect it later on. I'll show you in a moment. Okay. Next, we are then going to check for that particular seed that wolf dropped, and only that seed that wolf dropped. What we're going to do is we're going to do a partial NBT match on the type equals item. We're going to give them we're going to add 1 to the seed score if the tag display lore is spread by wolves. Okay. Then what we're going to do is that seed, when it reaches a score of 5, so if it's 5 ticks in the world, I'm then going to detect if that seed is on top of farmland. Okay, if it is, I'm going to set block wheat 1. So I'm going to set block the baby little wheats over there. Okay, and then the next thing I do is kill at E score seeds minimum equals 5. So then I'll just kill the seeds. Okay, that's it for the wolf. And then last but not least, the bee actually only has 1 command. So execute at E name equals B, just so that it doesn't execute at every single bat. Okay, fill. I should actually, yeah, okay, fill 1. So x1, z where it is y1, then to minimum 1, minimum 6, minimum 1. We fill that space with wheat 7, but only do that and replace wheat 1. So that wheat over there, it'll fill it, look for it. If it's wheat 1, it will then replace it with a fully grown wheat. Okay, well, that's quite a mouthful. Okay, that's it. That is how the mechanic works. If you want the 1 block creation to add this to your world, it is in the description as a paste bin. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will check you all later.